So today I'm climbing on the Zigzag Chicane setup, and Josh will be climbing on the rope wrench hitch climber setup. We'll have a little comparison and our thoughts and feelings at the end.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, you're rushing. Oh, that is smooth. That is really, really smooth.
Is it really nice?
Yeah. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video for my honest opinion on both products. No, that is dead nice. So open, this tree.
Lovely tree.
Show this to Evie tonight.
Yeah.
That's dead weird, that is.
Woo! What a lovely tree. Yeah.
Whew. Oh, that is dead cool. About 10 in it. Oh, that is dead nice.
What?
Like it's dead, it's smooth, and then pulling up, because you got the pulley, it's like...
Yeah, you can just ascend like that.
Quite nice actually. No sit back. Dead cool. Where do I want to go? Who's getting that one? That's the question. Something I don't like is feeding through the slack. It's really tricky. How are you gonna... If you just collapse that, it's not going. You need to collapse the top. It's really quite tricky.
What, you're not liking that tree?
Well, you have to take the head off, which isn't that slow, but you got to take the head off to give it some slack, because you can't collapse it and tend the thing at once. Like trying to... my hands aren't big enough to do both.
Right.
Because it's not got it's got a proper metal tether. No, I think a rope runner and akimbo are better because you can tend it all from the top. Yeah, I'm having to use two hands, which would be okay if I was just climbing on one rope.
So really, the zigzagging page straight is going up and down, but not...
Not side to side, no. I would prefer the hitch climber. It might be as well that I'm using the small zigzag and the links are too low. If the big zigzag links were up here, it might be easier to tend both, but it's too much of a stretch for me. It's like 8 inches. My hands aren't that big.
Yeah, you need big hands, don't you?
It might be the links though. Yeah. Few quite big logs here.
So let's get down to it. Which one's better? Which one should you buy if you don't have either? They're two very good systems. Now, I do have more experience on the rope wrench hitch climber setup, and I do love how versatile it is. You can abuse it and rub it on over limbs and sort of be a bit more rough with it, and it's just going to hold up. You know, each individual part is replaceable. When the hitch cord wears out, just buy a new hitch cord. If the pulley's stiff or broken or damaged, get a new pulley. You get two carabiners with it, and the rope wrench tether is very simple, and the head is again very simple. Um, it's only £220, so it's the cheaper out of the two options, and it's great. So I highly recommend the hitch climber setup. Saying that, I do much prefer DRT on the Zigzag. DRT is a lot smoother, a lot more consistent in all weathers and all different types of ropes. They've obviously upgraded the Zigzag over the years. It's now a lot bigger and bulkier with the Zigzag Plus, as shown on the screen there. But obviously it was designed for DRT, and the chicane was an afterthought in my opinion, and there's a lot of things that I particularly don't like about it. Tending and adding slack into the system can be an issue. I'm sure there's workarounds if I had a bit more time on it, but it definitely didn't click with me straight away as the hitch climber rope wrench setup did. You've got to be more delicate with it. Obviously, there's a point where it'll just snap. If you've bent it over a limb, it will just snap, and them links could snap. Um, and you want to be careful where you're storing it on your belt with it being metal. You can't drop it and things like that. However, saying all that, it is really smooth. On that first descent, it's night and day between the hitch climber. You're always going to have a bit more friction on that hitch climber because there's always rope on rope. But when the zigzag's fully collapsed and you're going up, you can't feel it at all. It's just coming up straight with you, and it makes for a real nice smooth ascent. But just going horizontally out on them limbs, I wasn't 100% impressed with it. I'd much prefer to go horizontally with my rope wrench setup just because of the tether not being completely stiff. You can collapse that top rope wrench and tend the hitch at the same time and go out, and you have a lot more freedom. But with the chicane, I felt I was constantly fighting it, which isn't great when you're trying to concentrate on balancing on the limbs and getting out. The Zigzag costs a bit more at 360 depending on what bundle you get, and I just don't think it's worth the extra money. If you've got a Zigzag already, maybe if you've got two Zigzags already and you don't have any hitch climber stuff, then maybe it's worth it. But if you've got a hitch climber set up and you're thinking, should I get the Zigzag bundle? No, I'd recommend getting the rope wrench and just turning your system into an SRT system. It's a lot more versatile, it's a lot cheaper, it's replaceable. If you're wanting to splash out and spend a bit more than £300 and you're not fully convinced with the Zigzag chicane setup, then I suggest the Akimbo or the Rope Runner Pro. They just seem like a lot better options, and it's specifically designed for that reason, not just an afterthought from Petzl.